All right, this is Mervin, and today I'm going to replace this old stogie lighter with this here USB auxiliary jack mini plug input. I'm wearing 6 pair of gloves, 14 pair of safety glasses, and some flesh-colored Kevlar to protect myself in accordance with the legal department. DeMille's behind the camera. Let's get started. Folks, the process is relatively simple. What you're going to do is you're going to remove off this center console. That's going to be removed by removing this middle knob. Gives you access to a screw, which is back behind there. I'm going to let you see it a little bit better right now. With a screwdriver, or what I like to use is a plastic tool, you want to pry out this little plug that's down just to the right of your shifter. Push down on the button. Now I can get that out of the way, all right? You get your shift stick out of the way, folks, all right? There's the screwdriver coming into action right here on that Phillips head screw. I'm gonna remove that. That's all that's holding her in. Don't ever want to lose stuff like that, okay? Put it in a safe place. All right. Now, again, plastic pry pieces, great investment if you're going to find yourself working on your console, your center area here. I've seen people do it with a screwdriver. I don't recommend it. I don't like the thought of it. I don't like the thought of metal against plastic, especially pretty painted plastic like this here, glistening in the light. You want that to always look nice. You don't want to snap it. You don't want to guff it. You don't want to muck it up. You can always take off the top tube, just makes it a little bit easier. And being mindful of the fact you got some airbag controls under there, and not airbag controls, but warning lights. I just like to pull it back so I can get up under there and see what I'm doing here. Every time I've done this, past one time I've done this, that's how I've done it. See, and that's where these hooked tools come in nice. Helps you push down those tabs. All right, see that? Couldn't do that with a screwdriver, could you? Unless I guess you could take a hammer to your screwdriver and bend it at an angle. Anyway, you take her out. You got connections behind there. One of those connections, folks, happens to be your stogie lighter. Stogie lighter's going bye-bye. Get rid of these other connections as well. There you go. There's your stogie connection. We're gonna cap that off. We ain't gonna use it. There's no need to use it. We're not gonna be using that for power. Not in any way. You see, here's another unused connection right there. All right. Now, folks, that's gonna come out regular easy. Back behind here, you got a couple of little tabs that hold that stogie lighter in place, and basically I like to just get a pair of pliers, or in this case some channel locks on it, not because I'm going to break it or bust it or bend it or anything like that, but just because it gives me a little more something to grip with. I can give it a turn, you get those tabs released, and this is rather intuitive. I'm not going to boggle your mind with 1,000 steps. The goal is to get that old stogie lighter out of there. And you could do it with, I don't know, a pair of needle nose pliers, or I don't know, some dynamite. My friend did it with dynamite once. I'm kidding there, folks. I would never recommend using dynamite on account of the legal implications that go along with such a recommendation. All right, and we're gonna pull her right out of there. Simple operation, really. And push down that little tab, and that's what. Always have an ambulance on standby. 911 on speed dial. And somehow somebody winds up with a screwdriver in their thigh. Well, I've always seen. Yeah, that's a bitch and a half is what that is. At this point, I'm going to break the shit out of it. There, squeeze it. Squeeze it. Get those tabs. God dang. That gum nitty bobbin. I've known some people to break these in a fit of rage. DeMille, you getting this on tape? Because it ain't going so smooth, to be quite honest with you. Well, damn, freaking, there, she comes right out. So easy that she comes out slicker than cupcakes out of a muffin tin with fancy paper around them. Yeah. There's tabs back there, folks, and quite honestly, I'm breaking mine off. All right, there, I admitted it to you. Of course, only those of you that watch the longer video are gonna know what you're truly in for when it comes time to do such a fun project. Oh, yeah.
Merv, make believe it came out easy.
Like this?
Now, hold it over here. No, more to the right. Put it back in the thing.
Like this, but...
Now
yeah,
pull it right out of the thing.
And so, a few moments later, she's out. As you can see, getting that out of there is rather intuitive, easy, and fun. So, being careful to keep your safety goggles in place, your flesh-colored Kevlar on, and your gloves intact. You'll want to thread down through the new wiring. Now, this project, folks, assumes that you got a fancy pants new head unit installed, and you got your auxiliary cable input in the back of it. I mean, I can't help what kind of a head unit you bought, but most of them these days, you got an auxiliary input back there, you got a USB input, and we already run those wires, so I'm just gonna connect it up here, back behind the dash. But, you know, you could technically, this is a 1 meter connection, which is roughly 3 feet. You could run this back down through, back behind your console and up into the back of your stereo, your head unit there, your Victrola, whatever you put in there, you know. Now, there's lots of different kits you could find. And again, here, give these folks a plug. Rari, R-E-R-I-I. It's pretty much a household name. Found it on Amazon for a couple of bucks. I ain't promoting this one over others, except that the price was right. And as you can see, the install's quite simple. So first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna run your wiring through this cover cap. Some people you might not even want the cover cap, but it makes it look neat if you want to close her up. And you can always take it off later with a pair of cutting pliers. You're gonna run it through the cover cap, and that's gonna also serve as a bit of a washer. This whole unit here is threaded. So in a minute you're gonna see we got a great big giant old nut that goes on the back of that. And folks, I might break with tradition in a minute, take off the gloves. All right, the lawyers are telling me to leave the gloves on. Again, I ain't telling you to do this to your car, your vehicle. I'm just telling you this is how I do it to my vehicles. All right. And once you got that in place, you're gonna run her down through this standard issue hole, which is a nice size hole. And she's gonna fit in. She's gonna fit in slicker than slick. You can decide, folks, you know, do you want it this way? Do you want it that way? Do you want it this way here? To me, that looks nice. That's how she's going in. And then on the back, you're gonna run your nut, okay? This is a big old giant nut. It's gonna thread down right over the top of that. You can do all this by hand. So I'm running my wires now through the nut. The wire is what come out the back of the thing, and the nut is now going on the back of this thing here, okay? Going right on there. And remember I showed you that whole shaft was threaded. Well, now that's coming in handy. And we're threading the nut, giant plastic nut, over the top of those threads. All right. Hey, gotta take off the glove. All right. Get my dang hand on the thing. I mean, wear damn safety gloves for every gall damn. And there you go, it's all in there. Tighten down with that giant nut on the back, and then you see that cap. Seals are off, makes her look pretty when you're not using her. I'll run the wires from the head unit when me and the kid installed it a while ago, and I run plenty of extra. Never hurts to have extra. So I haven't done that, I'm gonna put a zip tie on it. It's gonna go on there. We're on a snipper. We're gonna connect up the new unit. Hook everything up, the pre-wired female end that I had in there. Female end to the AUX cable as well. It's all gonna be hooked up. Put a little tape on it if you wanna keep it safe. Get some tape around. Get it held in there good. I don't want it coming out. All right. Oh, dadgum twisted son of a. I'd like to take a moment now to thank the Merv for his filmmaking skills and all that he done for me in making these here videos. What you can see how popular they've become. I think one of them's got like nearly 17 hits. Don't know what a hit is or why somebody would be hitting on it, but DeMille told me that's good. I'm tucking her back in. This grand experiment is nearly over. Here. Remember? Very intuitive where these go. One snaps there. There's only one way they can go in. Everything gets tucked back in nice now. Okay, see that? Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. Snap everything in, and it pretty much fits like a glove.
Take off the glove.
Your screw goes right back in there. Don't forget your knob. You can only go one way. And snap back in your top piece of the console. Now the kid needs to trim out this here stereo. I've been harping on them for several weeks. You've got to get a trim kit. That looks like a cob job. But there you go. There is your hipster USB auxiliary port. You might want to think about doing it this way though. I'll tell you, just give you a little tip. Do it like that, because it's easier to peel off that thing when you're pulling down on it, rather than trying to jimmy your finger under and pull it up. This is Merv with Merv Serve tip number 89. Keep it simple. Have a great day.